Hello, guys. It's been ages since we've done the last AMA session, and we've seen a lot of things happening in the crypto industry. Unfortunately, not so great things, but I mean, we've been through it, right? So it's not the first time, guys. We're kind of used to it. We're all a little bit of a maximalist in a way for Bitcoin and the whole crypto niche. So we do wish that the whole industry will get back on track as it was meant to. Unfortunately, we've seen a lot of bad news recently, and all of these uncertainties around the world, which is not making it so great. But I mean, we got to face the reality, and let's just keep going, guys, because that's not the end of the world. We still have a lot of things to catch up with around the SIDUS, and SIDUS Metaverse and SIDUS game is growing rapidly. We've improved a lot of things recently. We've integrated a lot of patches for you to enjoy. There will be a lot of things happening in the near future in the next few months. And during the AMA session today, we will cover a lot of excellent and exciting details for you to see around the game progress, the metaverse building process, the modules and functionality around these modules, the truly innovative, decentralized module functionality for Web3 to make sure that this project will be going away from centralization and giving as much freedom as possible to its users and players in the future, and a lot more exciting stuff that I'm sure you will be happy to see. Meanwhile, what you see on the screen now is a picture of two eggs, and those magical eggs will actually have its own reason or of an existence. Did you put the picture on the actual screen, Anton? Just make sure you put the picture. What you see is two eggs, silver and the gold one. What it means to you guys is that today's video is very special. After this AMA session, we kindly ask you to like, subscribe to this YouTube channel, as well as leave your comment along with your MetaMask wallet, and anyone who will participate in this particular event, up to 6,000 people would be able to receive completely free of charge, an NFT of a special Toadwing egg, which will have a little pad inside of it once it will be ready to be released. Keep in mind some great details in the end of this AMA session, so make sure you stay until the end, because we're going to share a lot of great things with you. I'm sure you won't you will actually spend your time efficiently. You won't waste your time today, and we'll try to be as efficient and productive as possible. So we will get started with a little presentation. The presentation itself will cover a lot of things that, first it's been happening in the past few months, and what can you possibly expect from SIDUS in the next few months as well. I'll try to cover as many details as possible. I'm sure many of you will have a lot of questions. We have our support members that are currently in the chat. So if you have any of those questions that you want to get an answer, please ask them in the chat, and our support members will try to answer it as quickly as possible for you guys. So let's get started. So the first slide that we will see is a talk about the metaverse itself. The metaverse, as many of you know, this term is many of users in the crypto industry and around the world in the gaming communities are so used to this term called metaverse, and everyone is trying to assume and create a clear idea as to what metaverse is, basically. I do apologize, I've got a couple of dogs here. The metaverse itself is a special terminology that people are trying to use to cover the scalability of an ecosystem that will include a lot of things and will basically make it super expandable and super efficient for developers to create things inside of this ecosystem. So we saw it with the Facebook being converted into the Meta, and we saw that its rebranding has a particular purpose to have that scalability in the future of possessing that metaverse made by Meta that would allow many people to create things inside of it, to conduct some virtual meetings, to conduct concerts and sing, and people will listen to you using their headphones or virtual reality sets. will be a variation of things that you would basically be able to do inside of these metaverses. And it is a matter of fact. It's not a dream. It's not a miracle that people can talk about. It's actually a fact that that's already happening. And it's just a matter of time until a large company or a certain startup like us will create a really good framework which people will basically use to create and live within these metaverses. So it is a beautiful niche to be at. It is a very unique and innovative technology that I'm sure many of you will enjoy in the future once it's properly released and has a particular set of tools for you to use to build. At this point of time, unfortunately, nobody actually introduced a proper concept as yet in terms of the tools that you would be able to use to build things. I mean, we saw a lot of projects like Sandbox, Decentraland, and some others, but still it's a very, very early stage for anyone to really understand the full concept of what metaverse is, right? So we've spent a lot of time thinking, how can we build a metaverse, right? It's not, SIDUS is not just a game. The initial concept was the game concept, and to create a huge ecosystem with the space theme close to the EVE Online, Star Wars, No Man's Sky, where you can travel, you can have some fun with your mates, build spaceships, your buildings, your virtual offices inside of this exciting space ecosystem. However, by having so much interest towards SIDUS recently, we realized that SIDUS is not going to be just a game, but it's actually going to be a proper metaverse that will include a lot of things inside of it. People will have virtual offices, people will have concerts, people will build themselves whatever they want to do based on their own imagination. And that's the great thing about the SIDUS. It will actually create a lot of opportunities for people and developers. So we thought how to create a proper step-by-step structure of a metaverse being executed in an efficient manner, and obviously having a very clear logic as to what you can do to build inside of these metaverses. And we came up with the module economy, a specially designed economy that will basically allow all gaming mechanisms, development mechanisms to go through this special module functionality. When I actually talk about the modules, I mean that as many of you saw already inside of the game, we have a special functionality inside of the game called modules, and every certain functionality has its particular purpose. So for example, when you log in SIDUS right now, you will see a section called modules. And then when you press on it, you will see different functionalities having different contributors, different owners. And I'll explain that in a minute. So for example, marketplace, it's a functionality. It's the business within the game, right? So you can become a co-owner of this business if you spend your in-game resources that you obtain from the game, and you're doing it on a daily basis. You're currently basically investing these resources like copper, aluminium bars, gold, silver, SIDUS tokens, all of these real different resources into this module, and you basically become a co-owner of this marketplace. So when the actual marketplace is launched, people start using it, and then the commission out of this marketplace will be redistributed to all of those people who have contributed to the creation of this module, to the creation of this functionality. And that creates a real decentralization, right? Because we've been starting a lot of projects on Unreal Engine 5, and the problem with those projects is they will eventually face an obstacle from the regulators or from the centralized control of the platforms like Steam App Store and some others. And there is a clear regulation as to what you need to cope with to be listed on those platforms to get those users that are currently subscribed to these platforms, right? So that's the biggest problem. It's a centralized control. And in many times, you have a lot of politics involved in these processes. So there is no decentralization, unfortunately, because these people are relying on someone else's involvement. In our case, the SIDUS is built on the WebGL HTML5 technology, which means that we can launch our project without any involvement of Steam platform or App Store. We can just launch a project in the browser, So anyone can actually enjoy this metaverse just from their browser. And we are talking about Safari, Microsoft Internet Explorer, Google Chrome, Mozilla Firefox, all of those browsers that are currently being used by millions and hundreds of millions of people around the world from their phones or from their PCs or from their laptops, any device or tablet. It's so accessible and it's so easy to use that it will basically be a big difference in the future for an access point from the access point of view, right? We are talking about the future right now, and the future is not about centralization. Unfortunately, that's the reality, because in many cases, in order for your game to exist, you have to beg people to list you on the platforms. That's not a good approach, right? There are a lot of talented people out there. There are a lot of talented gaming studios out there that are ready to roll out and release their games, but they're facing these regulatory obstacles. So the browser is the way to go, because all you need is just to open the game in your browser, type in play.sidusheroes.com, and here we go. You access the metaverse. You can do as many things as you want, and it will definitely make you being excited. Let's go to the next slide. So basically, the second step is to launch an internal project incubator for us. So from our understanding, the metaverse is made of steps, right? In order for us to build this metaverse, we have to approach and attract as many developers as possible. Like many dApp developers on the Ethereum network, we see thousands and thousands of Solidity developers working on improving the Ethereum network, and that creates a real use case for the Ethereum network. The same will happen with any metaverse, because the metaverse is made not just by one team. The metaverse itself must be made with the involvement of a large number of teams. It has to be a bunch of developers from all experience backgrounds and stuff, developing things inside of this metaverse to really make a difference. And we are talking about a movie, Ready Player One. Remember, all of you guys, remember when this movie was released? It was just so mind-blowing for everyone, because it really showed the concept of different world inside of a single world, right? And we are talking about, for example, a planet where you can fight against other players, a planet where you can run and do some racing, a planet where you can actually fight against each other using your spaceships, a planet where you're going to talk to all of the NPCs to do some quests, and a whole bunch of other planets that are not it's impossible for one developing team to make all of those planets, all of those spaceships, all of those stations, all of those intergalactical adventures. It can only be achieved by a variation of teams together. And the incubator that you will soon see inside of the SIDUS will actually provide that functionality. So what we're aiming for is to create a platform where developers will introduce their ideas that will become a part of SIDUS through the launchpad or an incubator. And the community itself will have that ability or a transparency in a way to choose the projects they like, and that the ones that actually bring the value to the SIDUS metaverse, and the projects that are just wasting our time really and not doing too much for the entire community. Obviously, as you understand, that will create a lot of interest for talented developers who are not capable to create their own startups because they don't have a persuasive technique or ability to talk to many people, have these social interaction skills. However, they want to do a difference. They want to make a difference. And the way to do it is to join the team that has that ambition of building a scalable metaverse that would be able to provide an entry point for any developer who has a legit idea, who has a talent to create something. And we will provide this functionality. We will provide a set of tools for any developer or a project to come to our metaverse and already use our community, our abilities, our connections, and get a funding from the community in the way of SIDUS tokens and some others to sponsor or fund their development for the next few years, so they can actually build things inside of our metaverse. And in the next few minutes, we'll actually show you how one of the projects, one of the development teams made a prototype for you guys to see what I'm talking about today. You will actually see that the game that was created with a slightly different genre, obviously, a slightly different category of games, will be a part of the SIDUS ecosystem, will be a part of the metaverse itself. And that can be done by many, many different teams. So that guarantees that by you and us participating in selecting these teams, we will get a high quality product that all of you guys will enjoy. And I'm talking about shooter, I'm talking about tower defense, I'm talking about strategy games, I'm talking about the open world, stations, planets, and a whole bunch of other things that will be created by a lot of different teams, not just us. Obviously, we will create a core system for people to use. We will create core quests, core NPCs, spaceships and stuff, but some other stuff will be created by others and you will definitely enjoy. It will be bigger than Gala Games that have an idea. And I love their concept in a way that, you know, they're having an umbrella that covers many games as possible. However, this is something that is quite revolutionary because you will be able to participate in sponsoring these games, in giving them your SIDUS token or resources in exchange for royalty. And we will demonstrate to you what I'm talking right now. So we'll go to the next slide. Anton, please show the video while I'm talking. So that would be one of the games that you will see. Right? Once again, it's a prototype, but it just gives you a very clear idea as to what I'm talking about. And basically, you would be able to own a portion of royalties that this particular game or this particular module will generate inside of the SIDUS metaverse. You just see on the screen, the video is loading up. So that's one of the things that we were able to achieve with the separate team doing it for us. So just, you know, while we see this video and stuff, the question is, some people don't get, what do you mean by other games? This is one game, just SIDUS, right? SIDUS is going to be an ecosystem. It's going to be an open world. But in this open world, you don't just travel and do as many things as you want. You will access the game and you can select what you want to do. You can play a different type of a game. You can play tower defense, right? What you see on the screen, right? You can play a shooter like Counter-Strike, right? You can, or Fortnite, you just run around, kill each other and get some resources and SIDUS tokens and stuff. Or you can just access the open world and start traveling, exploring the metaverse, right? You can go visit an office of another company. You can go to a planet adventure with your mates on your own spaceship. You can start building on your own land plot. And in the next AMA session, we'll make an introduction of land plots and how it look and stuff like that. So this tower defense, for example, your character will be a part not just of an open world, but you can also access this game with your character with the same resources, right? And if you win some resources, you can use these resources in the open world or some other games. So there will be a universal interconnection between the entire ecosystem of Metaverse. And once again, it will be an open world. However, we don't want to limit people from choosing whatever they want to play, right? So if you like shooter, go ahead and play shooter. If you like an open world, go and play the open world as much as you want. If you want just to spend your time by playing a tower defense game, well, go ahead and play. But all of those resources and assets will be interconnectable. Your pets, your armor, your weapons, your resources, your tokens, and many, many other things as well, right? So that, I think that gives you a very good idea as to what to expect from the launchpad. And keep in mind, once again, keep in mind that this will be yours because you can invest your resources and tokens in the launchpad to be a co-owner of this particular module. Let's call this game a module, and it's made by a different team, right? And you will basically, whatever percentage of profit it generates, it splits the profit. A certain percent goes to the developers of this module, and the second part of this module goes to you guys, royalty holders, which makes an excellent use case for you to be a co-owner of different things inside of this game. Let's move on. We have a lot to cover. Let's go to the next step. So once again, in the step number 3, is to control the quality. There will be a certain methodology for us to go through. So basically, community will decide what they like, and if they vote for it in a DAO approach, that basically means they like the concept, and the concept brings the value to the entire metaverse of SIDUS. When we talk about the technological stack, we as the main developers will provide this technological ability, this set of tools, instruments for you to start building whatever you want, if it passes that legitimate selection criteria of our community, right? So if you guys like what you see, you will sponsor in SIDUS tokens the project that is coming to us. Now, the beauty here is you've got to understand that everyone is trying to create their own project, but that's the waste of time in the current market conditions. You just drag a certain portion of players towards your project trying to be the best. That's not always going to work, because if you have a place where you can actually collaborate together with the existing developers and existing team with the funding and the audience or a community, why would you waste time when we are ready to share profits with you? You make a game inside of this metaverse, you will get your profits. Don't worry. It will just come to you in SIDUS tokens or some other tokens, but there will be a clear use case for a SIDUS token, first of all, because if SIDUS token does well in price and CNET token, that means your game or your module is quite profitable. If it generates a lot of profit, you will generate a lot of profit for yourself as a team. And it will also generate a profit for any royalty holder or anyone who is a co-owner of this module. Once again, let's talk about the module. I just want Anton, my assistant, to share the screen of modules with you. Anton, please share the screen of modules. What you will see now on the screen is, once again, a procedure in how to participate in investing your resources and your tokens inside of a module. I've been telling it hundreds of times, you guys are wasting your time. You should participate in investing into modules. It could be a game changer. And what I'm talking about here is what you see on the screen, for example. Let's say a store. A store has already been built. We have already conducted a sale. We sold more than $50,000 of items in this store. Anyone who participated in building the store has already had a ROI, return over investment, of 510%. 510% of whatever resources or SIDUS tokens they've invested in this module. That is a massive, massive return. And you guys can be a part of it. Lifetime. And we are talking about a lifetime return. Because if you own a portion of profits or royalty inside of this module, you can convert this royalty ownership into an NFT. And this NFT verifies you as a legitimate owner of a royalty redistribution. So you can actually keep it and get your royalties lifetime while this project exists. And you can just getting it nonstop, every second, every automatic redistribution. Someone does something in the store, they buy something from developers, they pay a fee, 5%, 2.5% goes to the development and burning mechanism to create a deflationary model. The other 2.5% will be redistributed to anyone who is a co-owner of this module. The same with Marketplace. The Marketplace charges, for example, 10% of anything you buy from there, or 5%. 2.5% goes to the developer / burning. Once again, we're creating a deflationary mechanism to reduce the number of SIDUS circulating in the market. The other 2.5% will go to you guys, and you will get it daily, every single day while this project exists. Could be 10 years, it could be 100 years. We don't know how long SIDUS will exist for, but what we know for sure is that one day we will shine, because we are 100% confident that this project will shoot off, and we are getting some massive executive managers and directors joining this project. By the way, I've got a little challenge for you guys. We have one of the top executive managers joined our team just a few days ago. I cannot release his name as yet. We'll make a separate announcement, but I challenge you in the comments below, down this video, if you will guess the right name of this executive manager who built top niche games before, and we are talking about $500 million plus games, if you know the name of this person and you guess correctly, you will get a special prize. We will release the details closer to the middle of July. And if you win and you're the first to guess the right name, we will send you a free NFT of a special merchandise line t-shirt signed by all founders along with the executive director. And I'm sure you will love these NFT for sure. It will be quite collectible and unique as well. So guess who is that person? Because this person will be a game changer. Once we release the name of this person, you will understand the seriousness of this project. And we are talking about a top developer and a visionary person of the entire gaming industry, something that was built of exceptional quality and is famous around the world, something that has a market cap of more than $2 billion and generates the profit of more than $500 million of net profit per year. And that's the game, right? This person is going to lead us when it comes to the launchpad and the incubator. He's going to manage the entire process and help us to build it as successfully as possible. So that will be, once again, a big game changer for all of us. Let's go to the next slide. Let's move on. Step number 4 in the presentation that you see on the screen. Anton, let's go back to the presentation. There we go. We have some people who just wants to get some sort of code. That's all right. You guys got to listen because that's an AMA session. It's not just a freebies giveaway, right? Because we are talking about a big project and a lot of details. I don't want to waste anyone's time here. So if you're not interested, you're more than welcome to join later. But once again, we are talking about a big project here with an awesome team and a dedication. And if you're serious about what you do and how you do your research, I think that would be the best way for you to do it. So step number 4, what we want to do is we want to deliver quality and results to all of our investors, developers, and users. How we do it? Well, basically, the royalty is the way to go to give that confidence to those talented developers that will create games inside of this metaverse or games inside of a game, right? Like, once again, we go back to the example of the tower defense. And if you own a royalty of this module, and royalty is super profitable and lucrative, imagine how many SIDUS tokens and how much profit you can potentially get. So the confidence will come if there is a demand, and demand will come if there is an interesting product. If people have fun, because many games out there, they're not just fun to play with, right? They're just the ones that are earning you the cryptocurrency. But we saw that before with Axie. Once again, I have nothing against the Axie Infinity, but come on, like SLP, they had almost 0 cases in the past until they've got into it and trying to solve the problem by creating some artificial use cases. When you create a game, you got to create a game with the large number of use cases. And when there is a scalable demand, these use cases will pay off. And what I'm talking about is that many projects are not ready to be scaled. When we, for example, see a successful project, in many cases, they're not ready for a huge inflow of people. When there will be 100,000 people coming into the project, they're simply not ready. Their surveys are not good. The leading generation funnel is not ready. There are not too many use cases. In many cases, just a pump and dump scheme, right? So in the SIDUS, we've tried to create a large number of use cases. We're talking about a political system where you can select your fractions using the governance system, building the ships, building your own land plots, developing your own characters, modifying them, changing them, upgrading them, changing the look of your houses, buying the couches, build stuff inside of the metaverses, and use your tokens as well. So there'll be a large variation of things. And it's not just a dream, it's already happening. We have more than 700 participants in the modules that are waking up at 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. just to simply participate in investing into the modules, because they understand the value behind these modules. They understand once the game opens the gates to the open world, once there is a real demand for the entire ecosystem, including all games, these modules will definitely pay off. Let's move on. So the step number 5 is the actual launchpad development. Right, so the launchpad. The launchpad thing will be quite important. As I said, it has a lot of different steps. It will be launched along with the big business partners, and those business partners are not just random dudes that are coming to us and telling us we're going to build an exciting game or something like that. There will be a very clear and strict selection process. So once the community supports this project, once the developer supports this project, then we will give it a green light. And once that happens, well, you guess what? They will start building and they will start making you feel excited. So definitely keep a track of the launchpad, guys, because what will happen is the launchpad will have a couple of phases. There will be obviously sponsoring phase when you will be able to participate in building a module called launchpad, as many other modules you saw before. And the second step will be sponsoring projects that you select to be the right fit into the SIDUS metaverse, right? That's an important thing for you. After we've supported this project and sponsor them, giving them SIDUS tokens and stuff, they start developing it. And we already have a lot of teams who are interested to become a part of the SIDUS metaverse. You got to understand once again that metaverse cannot be built by one team. It requires thousands of people. And that will definitely happen if they have a confidence in SIDUS ecosystem. I don't have any doubts about that. We're also preparing marketing campaign. The marketing will be at a very important step for all of us because obviously, as you understand, marketing will have a very important impact towards the creating a community, a bigger community. We'll have a lot of events. Many of you already liked the previous events with the gold drop boxes, with some gadgets, and we will continue on. So next week, we will announce an event where if you win 25 victories, you will get an egg, a Toadwing Egg that will have a little pad inside of it and will have different tiers. So it depends how lucky you are. Once you open this egg, you can get from tier 1 to tier 9. It will have different colors. It will have different abilities. So once again, it's all up to you how lucky you are and when the actual thing will happen. Once you open the actual in-game pad. Let's move on. So the scholarship system. Let's talk about scholars. When people talk about scholarship, they obviously mean a large number of players willing to access the game and start playing it, right? So far, we have a selected number of guilds that we decided to take into the SIDUS. We have been selecting them very carefully. And there are only 17 guilds right now. The reason why we selected these people is, first of all, they were initial investors. They actually believed in our project back in December last year. And that's the gesture of respect to these guys because these guys are ready to get in and they have a lot of NFTs. And they have more than 5,000 people ready to join the game. What it means to you guys is that soon you will see a massive influx of people. So there will be no problems of you finding an opponent, someone that you will fight against or someone that you can play with. However, keep in mind, more people will have inside of this game, more competition you will have in your modules because many scholars will also want to be a part of a module structure. They will want to get your royalty. So you guys had a privilege before. We gave you enough time, more than 6 months, to participate in the modules, to invest as much money and the resources as possible. But the good times are ending. Now that's the time for a bigger number of people to get inside of this game. And keep in mind, there will be a massive competition for you guys to fight with because there will be a lot of willingness for many people to invest into the modules. And that will basically happen very, very soon. So keep in mind and don't waste your time. The next modules that are coming up very soon is the banking facility, referral program, and the scholarship and the reproduction facility. So the scholarship and the reproduction facility is already up and running, and you can start investing into the modules. However, the bank facility and the referral program is coming up. What does the bank facility do? The banking facility is to deal with the NFTs release process, withdrawals, and stuff like that. There is a little commission that will be charged by the system. And guess what? This commission will be redistributed to you guys. So if you build a banking facility in the next few weeks or so, you will be eligible to receive royalty a lifetime while people use this bank facility, and they will use it, trust me. It will be a very popular module. Referral program as well. Anyone who brings the friend, there will be a little commission, and that commission will be redistributed to anyone who wants to get a royalty. Now, another thing that is important to say is that previously in our tokenomics, we did mention that to build a module, it will have 3 different phases. Now, until now, there was only one phase, an automatic construction process. What you do is you just collect your resources and you go to the module and you invest your resources and SIDUS tokens into the module. And then once all resources are collected, the construction is being initiated and you start basically building a module. Now, the next phase would be requiring you guys, once the reproduction facility is built, it will require your heroes to be staked, to be locked for 4 hours to participate in the construction process. The process is 40% of royalties will be redistributed at the point of resources collection. 30% will be at the point of a research, of actual research of the facility. And the 30% will be during the construction. So you would basically need to allocate some heroes to be staked to initiate the construction, and they actually have to work to earn this construction royalty as well. And then once it all finishes, your royalty will be combined into a single percentage. And once again, you would be able to enjoy this royalty privilege in a way. Let's go to the next slide. Important information as well. Token burn, right? All of those modules, what they do is they collect your tokens and resources. And the legitimate question from you guys is, will you burn it? Well, yes, we will burn the tokens. Every month, starting from the 1st of July, 70% of tokens collected from modules, SIDUS and CNET tokens, will get burnt, right? So what it basically means is that you will, in all social networks, in the Discord and Twitter and some other places, we will announce the burning wallet. We will send those collected SIDUS and CNET tokens, and we will burn 70% of those collected tokens into the burning wallet. That basically means it is another deflationary mechanism that will reduce the number of tokens circulating in the market and will make it more valuable for you to hold SIDUS and CNET tokens as the part of your resources. So I think it's definitely a very important point to make, and that will be an enjoyable process to actually see every month. That's going to be a very useful one. Let's go to the next slide. Store modules report. Let's talk about the report. So I think the store was one of the best launches. It was the first module we've launched so far. We've redistributed 966,000 collected points, the investment points. The ROI was 559%. If you invested SIDUS and CNET tokens, the ROI was just tremendous. It was great. So do not miss the next modules. I keep saying it, guys, but just don't freak out when you miss out, because those royalty NFT ownerships will be super valuable. No other game out there does it. That's super innovative. I challenge you, find me the project that does the same thing. Find me the projects that shares its profits via the module functionality with their community. Everyone is trying to drag money to themselves. We are trying to create a real Web3 decentralized community here, and the module is the way to go. We've collected 11,760,000 SIDUS tokens. My apologies, it's the wrong. We've actually redistributed these tokens. So whatever was collected in the fees from the sale, it was redistributed back in the store. And we have 793 investors who are currently eligible for the royalty ownership. So make sure you get into the modules, guys. That's super important. Now, let's go to a couple of things. First of all, I want to show you a couple of videos. What you will see now on the screen is that once you access the open world will be massive. And we are talking about, once again, I don't want to sort of compare us to any other projects, but think of No Man's Sky, or think of Illuvium, and they have a planet, right? And where you can just run around this planet and do a whole bunch of fightings and enjoy the landscapes. And then they've got beautiful graphics there and stuff. But think of it as a bigger thing. Think of it as many Illuviums, and every planet will have its own landscape, will have its own NPCs, monsters, and many, many other things as well. There will be a magnitude of this open world will be tremendous. When you actually travel, you will see how planets are being created by their intergalactical chemistry in a way. You will see different planets. You will see different asteroids that you can drill. You can see a lot of things, and that will be a very tremendous process. What you see on the screen is a 3D AI system that generates a galactic itself, right? So that basically does it itself, and then it generates a variation of different places that you would be able to visit, different colors, different things. There will be a lot of things for you to enjoy in the actual open world, and I'm 100% sure you will be quite satisfied with what you see. Yeah, let's continue on. Let's go into the section of another presentation that I want you to take through. Is the weapons. Now, the weapons thing will be massive, because obviously you guys will need the weapons, right, for the whole bunch of different categories of games inside of our place. And we are talking about the tower defense, shooter, open world. You got to fight people, right? And you got to fight with something that you possess. So the weapon side of things is super important, and we want to allow you to generate different variations of weapons. What I'm talking about right now is ability to collect different parts of the weapons. During the open world adventures, by basically playing tower defense and stuff, you'll start getting some parts, right? And these parts will be digitalized. They're NFT parts, right? Once you collect some parts, you would be able to combine them together within the certain place. When you combine them, they are generating you a special weapon, customized by you, generated by you, and have different abilities and skills and effects as well, which will be quite unique as well. So by collecting unique parts, you will basically have a good chance of creating something extraordinary. You, not us, you, okay? And that's a very important thing as well. What we are trying to do here is we are trying to give you everything you need to build inside of this world. Not everything created by us, like weapons and spaceships and stuff, but actually enjoy a uniqueness, a creativity, imagination. And it's all yours, guys, because we want to make a world full of opportunities, limitless opportunity, really, for you guys to start thinking about how you can make this metaverse a better place. It could be anything out of your imagination. It could be different planets. It could be different things. And we are, thinking of the whole concept very carefully, so everything actually works properly, and you combine it in the variation of different ways to achieve the best result possible. Once again, there will be very futuristic weapons, and those weapons will have a huge variety of different things. Right? We're talking about 18,000, 20,000 using different parts. That will definitely be a very exciting process to go through as well. So we are carefully thinking about the entire process, and what you see is a different variation of things, that different parts, their abilities. I'm just going through. I don't have too much to comment. You can see it on the screen. There will be some fire weapons, watery weapons, and you will basically be able to place them on all of your characters. It could be human characters, it could be alien characters, and many, many different things. So it is an exciting part, to be honest. And our developers are really thinking, not create a project that will have a short thinking, but the project that will provide this creativity. That's what everyone is trying to achieve. Sandbox, Centraland, Meta, everyone really. and we want to be at the top of the list. We want to give you a chance to really think what you can create. And yes, I mean, we have to survive this winter. It's not the first time, right? So we've been through it many times, guys. It's okay. I mean, we're going to cope with that. I'm sure we will be all okay if we work hard. So I think that was a very, very nice summary of what you can expect from the weapon side of things. Let's go to the next slide. So once again, what I want you to understand is this project is not just a simple short vision, short-term game that has just a couple of developers that are trying to make a fun game and that's it, walk away. We are making a serious project here, a project that has a clear vision, as a whole seriousness of what you need to basically build something proper. You have the support of those people who have a huge expertise and competence in building these sort of scale projects. And we have an ambition and we have an incentive to really make the difference in this market. And I kindly ask you to support us, because right now, the projects like this can only survive with the community support. We're accessing a new stage of a crypto industry called winter. The winter is very uncertain. We don't know how long it's going to last for, when will be new bull cycle. We have no idea what will happen tomorrow. But what we know for sure is that's the time now to be united, to work as a team, to support each other during these harsh times, and truly build something innovative. Not just copy paste stuff, but truly build something that makes a huge difference in the market. We are going to give away these eggs. Once again, what you need is just to like the video, right? Simply like the video, press like, leave the comment of what you think about this AMA session and the game. Doesn't really matter if it's a positive or a negative, we're open-minded. Give us whatever feedback you can, and provide the MetaMask ERC20 wallet in the comments below. So you have a comment, and below the comment, please put your MetaMask wallet, the one that will be claiming the egg, all right? Right now, up to 6,000 people who will comment in the section below will be able to get the silver egg. If this video will receive 1 million views, we're gonna give you gold eggs, okay? And we're all gonna work hard to promote this video to make sure that this video gets up to 1 million views, so we can redistribute these eggs, and that will be quite unique. Trust me. Keep in mind, I just want to answer a couple of questions. I'm getting it into my DM. So the first question, will the launchpad be a separate module? Yes, the launchpad will be a separate module. It will give you the royalty that you want. And basically, it will participate in all projects within this launchpad. So if I'm a builder or a developer and I have an excellent idea how to improve SIDUS, for example, I want to build a planet of candies and bubble gums, and I come to a launchpad and I apply with the clear strategy, with the prototype, with the roadmap, and I give it to you guys to decide, to judge me based on the information that I provide. And if you're happy about my project, then the next stage is you can give me your SIDUS tokens and resources to sponsor me to initiate the development of this project. And I start working and creating an amazing planet full of bubble gums and candies. And then here we go. People start using my planet. They start traveling there, buy their spaceships, and they start buying candies on my planet. And they pay 5% fee to the planet GST. And this 5% fee will be redistributed. 50% goes to me as a developer, and 50% goes to anyone who is a royalty holder of this candy bubbly gum planet, right? So that will be the answer. What are the replicants? The replicants are coming from the reproduction facility. What it means to you, if you hold a current NFT from the Genesis collection or Academy collection, which you can buy on the OpenSea, then you can go to the reproduction facility and create replicants. Replicants are the hard workers they're the ones that you will use for a variety of different things, fightings, buildings, and many other things as well. Or a bigger part, I'm not sure about fighting, but some of the replicants that you receive from the reproduction facility will be used for labor, hard work, building spaceships, building modules, and many other things as well. So you will see it in the future. We'll make a very detailed announcement very soon. Your royalty of a module will be converted into the NFT. Okay, keep that in mind that we will have this functionality introduced very soon. What it means is that if you have 0.1% royalty percent of the entire module, you can go to the special function and press convert into the NFT, and there will be a card with your percentage in it. And you can do anything you want with that. You can keep it in your MetaMask wallet and keep getting royalties into your wallet, or you can go to the marketplace and sell it to whoever wants to buy it. Keep in mind, those will be super valuable. I have an addiction now to wake up in the morning every day and invest in these modules, because me, even the CEO, I have to go through the same process as you guys to get this percentage. And I'm addicted to these processes. This is super cool. I'm getting a part of this royalty. I can't wait for it, right? The next question, Dan, are you aiming to increase the floor price of the NFT Genesis collection? Well, yes. I mean, look at the legendaries. None of them cost less than 7 ETH or 6.5 ETH. I mean, they're holding really well. The same will happen with Common and Epic. We'll create a very large variation of use cases, and that will create a lot of demand for those. We're working hard now to restoring the value. We'll mint a little bit more and put it in the treasury now to create it 6,000 pieces, because right now it's less than 6,000. We can't get verified by the OpenSea. So we're going to fix that very soon. Once we release all of these characters, then we will hopefully get verified, and then we'll start pushing this collection to create more demand. The next one. Yeah, so in order for you to understand how the whole system will work, let's say, for example, we have tower defense game, we have shooter, we have an open world and stuff. There will be an access point for everyone. So when you access, you are basically getting into the environment, which will be all interconnectable. So you access with your MetaMask wallet, like a Web3 functionality, MetaMask wallet or a Genesis wallet or a Trust wallet, and then you basically access the entire ecosystem. So you will be able to access the tower defense, you will be access the open world, the shooter, and a whole bunch of other things as well. By the way, I've tested shooter already. I love it. I will show you the video of it a little bit later. We decided not to show it during this AMA session, but you will definitely love what you will see. There is a lot of thought placed into the shooter. The shooter will be quite a fun. And because it's a WebGL technology, we've tested it with a lot of players. So the beauty of browser gaming experience is that you can play a high quality graphics game with the high number of people in the browser, because Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Firefox, they have an optimizing mechanism to optimize the efficiency of FPS in the browser. So when you play against other players, you don't need to worry about the high quality FPS or a large number of people, because it's already working along with the browser experience. And if a browser is very common and used and it's sponsored by a big company, then basically your experience will be much better. So that's solving a big problem, by the way, because many games out there, when they build something on the Unreal, you have to download a huge file with gigs of data. And then sometimes it has a lot of problems with the connection when you face the other players, especially during the shooting interconnection. When you actually shoot each other, when you see many people running around and stuff, you want to make sure you get the best experience possible. And the browser will provide that to you. The shooter will have a couple of missions. There will be a mission where you have to run and collect some special crystals. And if you collect them, you can win the battle. Now, hopefully, the biggest complexity for you and the challenge is to actually collect these crystals, because if you don't collect them, you lose. But the problem is that everyone is trying to shoot you, right? So it's not easy to collect these crystals. There will be a God regime where you will be finding some special weapons and just shooting everyone and having fun. There will be special environments and landscapes. Those landscapes, keep in mind, are super unique. Everything we do in this project is made by the best artists we could possibly find. The spaceships, the landscapes, everything. We try to put a real thought into the quality, guys. Like, this is a project where you can expect 100% quality content, unique, We don't copy it from anywhere. We don't take it from Pokemon. We don't take it from, I don't know, some other games. There is no point to do so. We create something from scratch. Weapons, spaceships, everything is created from scratch. That's why it's unique. And that's attached to our IP rights, the company that is registered. So we try to capitalize the company by creating as much content as possible. The next question. Then please make an announcement that nobody will PM people to claim these eggs. It will be directly airdropped in the game. Precisely right. Don't worry. We have a very transparent way. There is only one way for you to place the comments, and with the comments, we will drop these eggs to your wallet. You will be able to claim them in the game. The next question, why do you have 2-token model? Well, because it is a need for this particular metaverse to have 2 tokens. 1 token is an in-game currency, the currency that will be used like a USD dollar, right? So we just do it on a daily basis. But there are certain processes like DAO governance elections, political fraction elections, choosing the president inside of this game. We also going to have a real elections inside of this game every month for 48 hours. You would be able to choose your leader who will run the entire nation for the entire month. And the way to do it more transparently and more efficiently, we have the governance token called CNET. And the CNET will be used for these particular purposes when it comes to land, political elections, DAO governance elections, and many other things as well. So we are trying to differentiate 2 different things from each other. So it's important for you to have both of these tokens. The next question is, will there be a module for weapons, armor, upgrades, and repairs? Yes, there will be a special module for modifications. If you want to upgrade your weapon, if you want to put a special crystal inside of this weapon and change your NFT appearance, that will be a part of this module as well. And that will be a chargeable module. So you won't do it for free. There will be obviously a charge for it. Keep in mind that if you want to modify your weapon and you want to put something special inside of it, some crystals and stuff, then there is a chance that you can break your weapon. So there is a chance. It's not 100%. You can, 50% break your weapon if it's a very highly valuable legendary crystal. So you're taking a bit of a risk depending on the legendary status of your weapon, but keep in mind, don't rush to upgrade everything, right? The common ones are okay, but when it gets to legendary area, yeah, you just got to be aware of it. The next question is, how about the guideline for the minimum specs required for the machine? Now, we are constantly working on this part. That's not something that we are just avoiding. We're trying to optimize the entire game to be as efficient and accessible as possible to any player around the world. More we develop this game, easier and more accessible it becomes from the browser. So if you live in Africa or in Asia, or doesn't really matter, in Europe, in America, in Australia, you would be able to easily access this game based on your network speed, as well as your RAM and the efficiency of your device as well. If it's just a mobile phone number, or if mobile phone or a PC or a laptop, etc. Another question. Then how are you going to support early investors who bought NFTs and tokens with higher price? Because looks like they will need much longer time to return their money invested before. We haven't launched the marketing yet, mate. So basically, in order for you to see the action happening, we got to build something, right? When we do marketing, there is only one shot. If we spend $1 million by doing the marketing and we get a lot of people in, and people start buying SIDUS and NFTs, and then they enter the game, and there is nothing there, nothing except what we have right now, they will be disappointed. And when people get disappointed, what happens? They leave the project. They don't stay there for a long time, because many people are speculators. They're just flippers. They're here for a quick return. So that's something we have to pay attention to, and we are very careful about how we approach the marketing. The marketing strategy is getting prepared. It will be a very sophisticated and comprehensive marketing strategy to provide the best possible results. It will include YouTube streaming, streamers from Twitch, and banners, and a lot of websites, and just a lot of things will happen during the marketing. And once that happens, there will be a huge number of people joining the game, right? We don't want to disappoint them. So if you have patience, please, I kindly ask you to support this project and give us more time, because it's slightly higher in terms of the complexity in comparison to building something on the Unreal Engine. If we build something on the Unreal Engine in 6 months now, we'll probably have a massive world right now with amazing graphics and stuff. But you guys have to understand, we are building this on the browser. Nobody in the world has ever done it before. Nobody. Only pixel games, snakes, little funny tanky games and stuff. Nobody actually built the metaverse or a gaming product, a proper one where we're talking about a nice graphics in the browser. And that's the very hard thing. We are going like a first time adventure right now through this process. So I kindly ask you to give us some time, please. Let's move on. Can you give us a brief overview of tokenomics and token supply? Would there be any burns and buybacks? Well, as you know, we've spent $6 million already buying back tokens. We started to buy back tokens starting from 13 cents all the way down to 5 cents. Spent $6 million burning it. And obviously it still went down because speculators are still selling it. But keep in mind, and I just want to ensure you that those large players, Animoca brands, Alameda, and some big boys, Double Peak, etc., they haven't sold a token, a single token, zero, because they understand the value of this project. These boys, they have a long vision. They're not flippers. Flippers are DAO communities, speculators. They're here for a quick buck. They are, joining in December and they expect 100 axes straight away, and they sell and they run away. They search for other opportunities. The only ones that are staying with us are the ones that have strong balls. And I'm talking about a serious stuff here. Those big boys and the strong community in the Discord and Telegram, they're the strongest supporters. And they will be the ones that will be rewarded the most, because we look after the loyalty. We look after those people who dedicate time to us and understand the scalability of these projects. So you don't need to worry. Just give us some time and you will see the result. Once the shooter is released, once the tower defenses and stuff, once the open world starts to take a shape, you will see what I'm talking about here. And I'm talking about a serious product that will be used not just by the crypto speculators, by the gamers, by just ordinary people. We have a lot of old men playing this game already. We have some 80 plus years old people playing this game. We have kids, 14 plus, participating in SIDUS. We have a large number of people, different ages, participating in this project, and they all understand the value of this project. They all want to get NFTs. They all want to collect SIDUS and CNET because they understand something big is coming up. I'm personally accumulating, all of our other business partners are accumulating stuff. There is nothing wrong except the bearish market. So we have to understand, when the bearish market kicks in, doesn't matter how good your project is, you will get crashed for some time. And it will take for us to restore the project in terms of its value for 2 tokens, but it will happen if there is a demand. And we are talking we are talking about not such a big number of people. We're talking about 20 to 30,000 people, users that will start to use finally this metaverse, this project, and start using these tokens in the real use cases, not for the speculative purposes. So give it a time, that will happen. I think we had a great AMA session, guys. So thank you so much for your attention. In the next AMA session, we'll release some great details again with you. I hope you love it. Please subscribe to this YouTube channel, join our Discord, Telegram. We'll keep you in the loop for all of the updates. We are serious about this game. Dedicating all of my time 24/7, really. We all work hard. It's not a wonderful, beautiful thing that I want to say to you guys. It's not a sugarcoating, or I'm just trying to, cover off ourselves. No, that's the serious thing. We believe in this project. We believe in what we do. We are pretty confident about building this project from the perspective of our expertise and understanding. And, if that will happen the way we plan to, and if you give us a time, you will see the result. It will just happen. You don't expect it, but it will happen. And once it will happen, people will start talking about SIDUS. And if you're a part of it, lucky you. If you're not a part of it, well, bad for you, because you got to get into it at the higher prices, and the higher prices for the NFTs as well, right? So it's not a financial advice, but guys, you got to do your own due diligence and the research to understand what are you dealing with. Which projects do you want to support, and which projects you want to leave and say, bye-bye, I don't want to talk to you guys anymore because you're just wasting my time and my family's time, and that's very valuable. But we don't want to waste your time. And once you see this project from a serious point of view, you will understand how big this project will be in the future. Have a good day and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Bye-bye.